All right, here's my initial idea. First off, we divide up into two teams. You have two people on each side. I'd say Blake and Tommy be on opposite sides, and then choose who gets Nathan and Colby, and I'll just facilitate the adventure. So we've got two castles on each side of the 8x4 playing area. So each castle is composed of a gate, two towers, and two walls. Each of these features can house a regiment of 20 troops. So you can have up to 100 troops garrisoned in your castle. Your deployment zone is 18 inches beyond your castle wall. And then each of you have a village that is composed of a city wall tower combination, and it can also hold 20. And then you have three major structures that can be garrisoned with up to 20 people as well. There's a forest in this area. This area is open to start with. There's no terrain, there's no deployment in that area. You've got a river that is in the middle with a bridge. The bridge can let a normal regiment size cross in marching, 5 width. Anything else, we might have to have some test or slow, that they can't march move. But this is a fordable river. People can move across it. So that river bends and then bends off here. So you have both sides are identical. Here's a side view of what it looks like. So you'll get to choose where you want that forest to be. And also, I think we can choose to move these village anywhere in this area if you want. I think if we push these back to this 18 by 18 area, that's going to open this space up so you guys can have more maneuver. Right now, it's just a big kill pit right here. Anything going in here is going to be hit from a lot of stuff. So we'll talk about that and see what you think. You have a hill. That hill can hold up to 3 artillery pieces. And if you have an engineer there, will do the battery rule where he can be there and respond to any. He doesn't have to nominate who he's going to be with. If someone has a misfire, he can step in and help out with that. This is the the general's command post. I'll talk more about that, but it's a special rule that as long as the general is on this side and has line of sight to that, he can basically issue orders to anyone in the area. So you're going to get the inspiring presence anywhere that the general is on this side of the river, has line of sight to this, so they can communicate. You guys can tell me what you think of that. Just something extra. These are your walls that you can put anywhere in your deployment zone, and also this empty area. If you choose to deploy some of those, you can. Some fences. This is stuff you can choose to deploy wherever you want in these areas. This will allow you to see over troops on your side. You lose line of sight past here. I mentioned that these can house 20 each. They can also each hold a artillery piece. These are not built for artillery, so they can't be here. All right, so here's what the starter army. So you're a baron, and your count has a standing army rule of how many certain units that you have to minimally have. So this is what it looks like. That's 2,000 points. So here's what it looks like on paper. So these are the units. I've added a little bit of the Bretonnians in here. Let's see, men-at-arms. I thought I had something else. I think that's all. Oh, it's a yeoman. I just want to see those out there. Your lords and heroes. It's 2,000 points. So you have a general. You can change that to a grand master. You'll just have to take the extra points out of your upgrade points that are available. You have an extra lord slot for whatever you want to use there if you want. You have a standard bearer that's already paid for the standard, but you have to kit these out with your extra points. You've got a captain, a battle wizard, and an engineer. So if you want to hire more, here's what you're available to hire out. So you can replace the general for the additional cost. You can add a grandmaster if you want, but then you can't get a wizard lord. You only have one extra lord spot. So you can hire wizards, priests, witch hunters, engineers, captains, and you can also get some magic from the Bretonnian side and paladins. These were mainly limited by how many models that we have. So max means that's how many additional purchases you can make. The spearmen, you can add another unit. I think we've got enough that you could do whatever you wanted there. You can also, for the additional price, move spearmen into halberdiers. They're not kitted out at all. None of these are. You'll have to add whatever you want to add. You can add another unit of knights. You can upgrade them to inner circle. The ones you already have, you can do that. If you want to turn some militia into huntsmen, you can do that for the additional cost. So the rest of this is pretty much explanatory. We've got all the Bretonnian knights that you'd ever want to muster. So I'd say you guys decide how many additional points. I'd say minimum 1,000, max 2,000 additional points. So that's on top of the 2,000 points you got for free. So the object of the game is to take territory, hold your territory, take territory, occupy space. So you have 1,000 points worth of terrain, and if you take control of or destroy that terrain, you get the points. Also, if you hold air regions, like if you hold the crossing, you're unopposed. You have the highest unit strength or point cost will decide that. You get this 200 when the game ends. If you hold the opponent's hill, their forest, and every unit that you have that's half strength or better in your opponent's deployment zone, you get 25 points. Also, the typical victory conditions aren't as well. That's the army. You can see that, and you've already seen the side view. And this right here is some additional kitting out you'll need to do for sieging. So if you want to protect, for the castle, you can assign rocks, give rocks to units, and that gives them some missile capability. Boiling oil, it's a nasty little attack. It's a template attack. You can reinforce your gate. Offensively, a siege tower basically takes away the penalties for attacking a fortified castle. Basically, once you get to the castle and you get up, the opponents have strike first, and you have hits with sixes. So it's kind of tough to get up on the ramparts. But once you get up there and you outnumber your opponents, then you have taken control of that. A battering ram allows you to attack the gate. A log ram, same thing. The difference is the battering ram has cover. Log ram does not. Units that you think are going to attack the opponent's castle, you need to buy them ladders. It's 5 points, so it's cheap. For some reason, skirmishers, it's a little more expensive. It's a point per model. And this is what allows your skirmishers to attack or climb. Mantlets are defensive structures that you give archers or any units that have missile weapons. Provide some hard cover. They get to start out a little bit further ahead, but then they can't move when they're moving the mantlets, so they get slow. So we'll talk more about how that works. It's very easy. The rules for siege is very easy. So let me know what you think.